right, Joel, let me see if I can give you guys some perspective. This will be for the committee. If they want to watch the whole video, they can. I'm not sure how to explain it any differently than just telling it like it is. Here's the home. The home is going to shift 2 feet. Actually, that's incorrect. The home is actually going to shift 1 foot 6 inches in that direction to get it to the proper setback. It is not set back from the south side properly for the lot type. It's just not in the right position. So we're going to put it in the right position. That's thing number one. So you have to be prepared for that. It moves 1 foot 6 inches in this direction. But as we recapture the non-compliant space that we all have talked about, it has a 2 foot wider footprint, more or less, close to it. So here's the current corner of the home. Here's the new corner of the home, right there, 3 feet 6 inches away. So what that does is that puts some things in the build zone that some things have to be dealt with and some do not. So when we position this house, despite popular opinion, we are very thoughtful about what's going on around us and what actually has to be done to do the right thing. So in this case, this tree that I'm standing next to right here is about 4.5 inches in caliper. It's next to this Yaupon holly, and they're kind of in the way of each other. Has a very tall canopy and no growth underneath. And while you can't really see it, camera doesn't show it well, it's already about 1.5 feet, 2 feet over the porch. So that tree's coming out because it's not only in the 4 foot build zone. Remember now, the rules are pretty clear. This is the build zone, and within 4 feet of the build zone, everything is subject to being removed. And we've seen evidence of them doing that, for example, in Natchez not too long ago, where they took out everything on the lot because it was all in the within 4 feet of the build zone. Neither here nor there. This tree is within 4 feet of the build zone, but more importantly, it actually touches the house, and that's one of the reasons why I want to take this out. Now, this Yaupon is probably going to hit pieces of the house, but that's a lot of Yaupon, and we can trim that back to make it work. This tree back here, not super duper healthy, but we believe that when this tree gets out of the way a little bit and given a little time, that tree will do pretty well. It isn't really touching much of the house, but that little bit of branch right there is probably going to have to give way. This tree right here is going to stay, and I'm just going to video up the tree. It's in pretty bad shape. It has not been encouraged to grow below. It's just been encouraged to kind of go up and create a canopy at the top. So we're going to have to clip the top a little bit. That signals a tree to grow from below, by the way. Scientifically, you cut a tree at the top, it starts growing from below. So all these dead branches are going to have to be clipped off. And then we'll do a little clipping at the top, just minor clipping, to try and encourage this thing to grow from below. It does have some growth here. It's not very well organized. It has a little growth along this limb. So that tree stays. It's got a pretty good shape, but if it doesn't grow very well in the next couple of maybe 3-4 years, then it's going to end up being ugly. This crepe myrtle will be in the build zone. Here's the current edge of the home. The home will move to here, which is about 1.5 feet from this crepe myrtle. This particular brand of crepe myrtle is not native to Florida. It's not a native plant. It's just sitting here. Somebody put it in the ground, and there you go. It's coming out. It's in the build zone. It's not a pretty plant and would touch the house in any event. Here's the back edge of the home. Back edge of the home here, moving 3 feet 6 inches this way. The back edge of the home will be right in here along this line. Of course, now from here it moves forward about 6 inches because it's over the setback. Recall, we're making the home comply. While it's a little bit wider and we're getting rid of all this non-compliant space, the home is actually a little bit narrower from the east to the west because it doesn't fit in the setbacks. It's about 8 inches too long. I guess nobody really cared about that back in the day. Here you go. This magnolia is not only within the 4 foot range of the build zone and subject to being removed because of that, but it's also about 6 or 8 feet already over the existing house. The new house, it would be in the bedroom. And so this magnolia is coming out. It's in the build zone, touches the home. There's some unhealthy trees here that, we'll be happy to leave in place for the time being. I think it would be better to take some of them out and remediate them with prettier plants or more healthy trees, but they're of zero impact to us in terms of the build zone. So these 3 trees have to come out. That one, this one, and that mag. We had identified a couple other trees that should come out. Popcorn trees, they should come out. They grow straight up and they don't have any low hanging leaves or anything. They're not very pretty. We don't like them, and I'd rather see a different variety filling this void space rather than just being sitting up at the top. But builder's choice, and we'll make those decisions later. Again, these 3 trees have to come out in order to build the home on the north side. That's all that will come out on the north side. As we start building the home, it'd come out pretty quickly. Home would be ready to move. Now, these trees can stay in place as the home's being moved off, but immediately after that, these trees have to be pulled out so that we can put the foundation in.